In the quiet darkness before dawn, a sense of unease hung in the air. For weeks, the small frontier town had been living under a shadow of fear, whispers of an impending attack growing louder with each passing day. The townsfolk bolted their doors, prayed for safety, and hoped the threat would simply pass them by. But one person wasn't just hoping, she was preparing. Her name was Ilara, and she wasn't a warrior or a soldier. She was a cartographer, a mapmaker. While others saw land as something to be owned or conquered, Ilara saw it as a story waiting to be told. She knew every hidden path, every forgotten stream, every ridge that offered a vantage point. To her, the surrounding wilderness wasn't a terrifying unknown. It was a complex network of advantages and escape routes. As the rumors intensified, Ilara didn't sharpen a sword. Instead, she sharpened her pencils and pulled out her largest parchment. Night after night, by the dim light of a single candle, she worked. She wasn't just drawing a map. She was crafting a strategy. She marked the narrow canyons perfect for an ambush, the dense thickets where people could hide, and the secret springs that could provide water during a long siege. She noted the loose shale on the western ridge, a natural landslide waiting for a trigger. The town council had dismissed her. What can a mapmaker do against raiders? They scoffed. They were busy reinforcing the main gate, a predictable and singular point of defense. Ilara knew that wasn't enough. A single point of failure was an invitation for disaster. She decided to trust her own expertise. She quietly shared her findings with the few who would listen: farmers, hunters, and families living on the outskirts. Those who knew the land as she did. She showed them the escape routes, the rendezvous points, the places to make a stand where the terrain itself would be their greatest ally. The attack came just as she predicted, in the final, deepest moments of darkness before sunrise. The raiders, confident in their numbers and the element of surprise, bypassed the main road and swarmed in from the east, expecting to find a sleeping, defenseless town. They expected chaos and fear. They did not expect organized resistance. But Ilara was ready. Her network was ready. When the alarm bell finally rang, it wasn't a cry of panic. It was a signal. Families on the eastern edge were already moving, not in a frantic scramble, but along the predetermined paths Ilara had mapped out, melting into the woods. A small group of hunters positioned in the narrow canyon she'd marked unleashed a barrage of arrows, sowing confusion and halting the initial charge. The raiders, thrown off balance, tried to press their advantage by scaling the western ridge to gain high ground. But they found the path treacherous, and a coordinated effort from a few townsfolk above sent tons of loose rock and shale crashing down, creating an impassable barrier and splitting their forces. From a lookout point she had chosen weeks ago, Ilara watched the chaos unfold not as a victim, but as a conductor. She wasn't fighting with a weapon in her hand. Her weapon had been knowledge, foresight, and the courage to prepare when others were paralyzed by fear. The raiders, expecting a swift and easy victory, found themselves fighting the land itself, disoriented, separated, and taking losses from unseen defenders, their morale shattered. Before the sun had fully risen, they were in full retreat. The town was saved not by the strength of its walls, but by the wisdom of a woman who understood that the greatest defense isn't always a sword, but a well-drawn map. Talar proved that preparation is a quiet power, and that in the face of a storm, the one who knows the landscape is the one who will always have the upper hand. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content like this.